Hey there, happy Sunday there, it's me, Curiosity Trader. Hopefully having a great weekend. Just gonna go over the stocks which I'm watching for next week, and as well the trades which I took this past week. Again, all of these are really geared for those who are learning about the stock market, and hopefully I can learn something from my trading style and build upon your own, okay? Once more, that's what this channel is about. But yeah, let's just jump right in. And before I do, I saw this great post on Twitter. I took a screenshot of it, and it really stuck out to me. It says, the number one predictor of success, your level of psychopathic obsession. Most people don't want it bad enough. Success is nice to have, or one day, or someday, or maybe. But if you want it, and nothing will stop you. People and resources will surround you because you're so fucking rare. Most people will never achieve their dreams because they apply lukewarm effort and a scarcity mindset to their goals. Do the opposite, obsess, go all in. Yes, okay? You have to be obsessed with this thing, and it's 12 o'clock here in the morning, where I am. And it's the weekend, and how badly do you want it? That's what it comes down to. Again, like 90% plus traders will fail in the long run due to a lack of system and risk management, but really you have to love doing it. The love of the game is what keeps me going, and if you have watched all my videos from last year, thank you for continuing to support me, and I'm not sure what's going to happen, but the main goal of this channel is to track my journey and to become an elite trader, because looking back, that's the most important thing. Everyone loves a good story, and that's why I do these. You have to be obsessed. But that's my really TED Talk of today. You have to be obsessed, or as they say, be obsessed or be average. You can't be nothing short of obsessed, because otherwise, then you're just gonna be like the rest. Let's go over. I'm going to go over some of the stocks which I'm watching for next week. A list here I have on my tickers. I'm not going to go over all of them, just the ones that are highlighted, and we'll go over what I'm watching for next week. Alright. But again, as I go through these, you're going to see the same type of variation patterns, these flags, these range breaks, and yeah, again, I always say focus on themes, focus on volume, and at the end of the day, all that matters is price, okay? And 4 more rounds, just going to run again. But the main theme has been silver and aerospace in the defense sector themes. First off, silver has gone straight up 5-star, 5-star. I mentioned this on my blog. Really, you want to focus on stocks. Again, always focus on stocks that have gone linear. Okay? And remember, the most of the time, the best stocks that run offer numerous entries along the way. Okay? I did not take part of this silver trade. But again, there were numerous entries along the way, and as I mentioned, I posted a comment on Twitter, use these moving averages as sign of backside, sign of weakness, and I got a lot of hate of it, because they're saying you're trying to spot the top. No, I'm not, I'm just pointing something out, okay, that the best stocks often get extended, but yes, the best ones can often become more extended, but again, even the best stocks pull back, okay? Everyone's waiting for that. Everyone's waiting for that to nail the short on the silver trade, but here's one thing, that there's always going to be room on the backside. You're never going to miss a move. That's why I always don't advise shorting too soon on these theme plays, because you're fighting an uphill battle. And just wait for the momentum shift. What I was pointing it on the post I tweeted was the 10-day, these moving averages, obey them. Whenever they're on the decline, that's a sign of weakness. And right now, to me at least, this is a sign of topping. I could be wrong, but it's making higher highs and lower lows. So we'll see. I could be wrong. It's much different compared to this range right here, in my mind. Here looks bearish. But again, higher the better. I could be wrong. But back to that point being, again, same thing with, which one was it? A while back. OKLO that ran last year. Like even the best stocks get extended. You know, same thing with ASTS that's been running this year. You know, the best stocks get extended. Even with RGTI from last year, you know, the best stocks pull back. The list goes on and on and on. But I'm not saying like the silver can't go higher. I'm just saying like you don't want to buy it now. Okay, the time to buy it was at the range break. You know, now it's just a limbo mode. You wanted to let it build ranges, and that was that. I mean, I got a lot of hate on it on Twitter, but that's really what I meant about that. That's really all. Nothing less about that. But yeah, that's really what I meant. But other than that, silver has been hot. Again, you always want to focus on theme plays, okay? And within the overall sector, there's always going to be movers. You know, a top one has been AG, 5-star setup. Again, always focus on stocks that have gone linear. 5-star range break, pretty much off their range break there. And even this past Friday. But again, the correct entry point would have been at $18 on that one. Same thing with HL. Similar play, 5-star, range break over 20. Charlton Day. One I'm watching and one I did trade last week was HYMC. I traded this numerous times. 5-star chart. Again, the basic premise of what I'm trying to show you. Again, I didn't come up with this stuff. It's just like I take ideas from other people, okay, and you build it upon your own. But you follow a stock that made a big move and you track it. You put it on a backlist and let it build a range. And this is what this stock did. It built a range. And for a couple of days, and I pretty much bought it there, and I sold most of it there. I'm working on this though because it offered another entry. Again, the best stocks offer numerous entries, and I got long over about 29 opening range highs. And sadly, I'm not in it still. I knew the buying power. It was a great trade, but I'm not in it, and that's something I'm working on. Because I'm nailing the entries, but like I need to let it ride because that's what the system. I need to let it develop, because there's no reason for me to sell. You know, this was a perfect buy entry over this range break, and with this strategy, you know, what I've been taught and learning is that you want to trail the 10-day. You know, and right now, for instance, this is still a setup in my mind. This is setting up very nicely. Opening range over 36, but the higher this goes, the less reward. You know, you don't want to buy it up here, but the setup is valid. You want to buy it right here because this is in a range. And we talk about this on the channel all the time. The less that it declines the resistance level, what's making these higher lows, it wants to go, and it did. You know, it did. Similar to what everyone's been talking about this past week, SNDK. You know, how for a month it was basing, you know, and it was testing these levels numerous times, wanting to go, but making these higher lows and confirming by basing, it was a sign of strength. And this is a 5-star setup. I did get long at 280, but I did not held the entire way, and I just got stopped out. But again, the best stocks offer numerous entries. That's what I'm trying to tell you this. The best stocks that you trade, hopefully you focus on the stocks that are linear, that have momentum, that have gone up. Don't focus on stocks that have not made no moves. You want to focus on momentum. The best ones will always, if not all the time, offer numerous entries, okay? But I'll talk about this one in a minute. But HYMC is setting up very nicely. Very nicely. I can potentially see this for sure. Having another range break over that over that $36 level. That is a 5-star setup in my mind. But again, the higher this goes, the less likely. But again, focus on ADR. So that one's a good one. Another one, let's just go over my list here. UAMC that's a machine drone company. We'll go over that one. USAR is another rare earth metal play I am watching for next week. Again, the best indication of future momentum is the past. I always say you want to study the past to better serve the future. Okay, this has gone in the past. Look left, and right now we're kind of in the zone. You know, we're going sideways here, It's a backlist play, meaning I have price alerts on it. I'm watching it. You don't want to buy it now, because look, here we go. It tried to break out, but it failed. You know, you don't want to buy it too early. You want to buy it just right. So I'm watching this. If it does happen to retest over 1850 with volume, then yes. But otherwise, you don't want to buy it now. It's mid-range. There's no point to buy it on that one. Similar play with that's energy. USIS, same type of theme play. Give me 1 second. Oh, sorry about that. But as I was saying, USAS is another rare earth metal play that I'm watching. I didn't miss my entry on this nice range break right here. But again, it's setting up very nicely. It had a nice breakout on Friday off that. But it's just one of those plays I'm watching. But the ADR is kind of 6.75, so it's just one of those plays. Nice strong chart though, so it's one of those I'm watching. But yeah, another one I'm watching, it's a CRML. CRML is a 5-star setup that I kind of nailed, but I'm kind of regret that I sold this, because again, on the channel, again, I'm gonna say this one more time. Look left. This has gone in the past, and I often notice that usually the secondary or third move, is often the biggest. That's often how it is. And again, always pay attention to volume, okay? Volume. ADR is roughly 15%, okay? And this is on my backlist. You have to keep a database of stocks, okay? I was watching this just as it was breaking out of the 10-day moving average. See how it's surfing and basing. I was watching it. Unfortunately, I did not take part. I didn't buy it at the initial range break. I let it build its ranges, and I bought over this range break roughly at $15 is where I got long. And it was a great trade. I pretty much swung traded, but it gapped down, and I sold the rest. I don't know why I sold the rest. It's just what it is. It was a great trade, great setup. This is the basic premise. You have a stock that makes a big move and pulls back, and look how it surfs on the moving averages. Then you want to buy an opening range highs just as it's breaking out on that range. And I did that. Great trade, no regrets, just like it is what it is. But the fact that it's holding up really nicely, again, it's making a nice setup. It's in the range right over here, and I'm watching it. Let it do its thing. Ideally, I want it to pull back. Some sense, like the first move here. Pull back some, then have a potential range break over this $18 level. That's the main goal here. And again, this is a rare earth metal play. Again, sectors, always focus on a sector. There's news on this again, but whenever there's a hot sector, that makes everything run a lot more. So you need to watch that. Always look at theme plays, all right? But look at other ones I'm watching. Let's see here. I have HYMC. I already went over. AREC is another one I'm watching. It's a metal theme. The ADR is so low. Well, it's 9.82, but it's the same premise as which was the other one I just mentioned. Same premise as USAS. Well, no, not that one. USAR. Same type of deal. AREC's in that little channel. Other than that, let me think here. I'm looking at my list. There's really all of them I'm watching on the metal side. Let's go over some other ones as well. VLU is one that bounced off the 10-day. The liquidity is kind of thin, but I'm showing you this because this is what I'm trying to show you. You have to obey the moving averages. Look how it bottomed and base 5-star on the 10-day and had a nice reclaim. It's a 5-star, but the volume is very thin. ASTS has been an absolute gem, and unfortunately, I did not trade all. I didn't trade this at all. But I just want to show you this. This is what pretty much you should, and I as well, have this ingrained in my head. This is the basic setup that I've mastered, or am still trying to master. The stock that makes a big move, pulls back, and bases on these moving averages. then to run again. And I want you to notice one thing. Every time it bases at these moving averages, what do you notice? It rallies. It rallies. And you don't want to buy it here. You don't want to buy it here. You don't want to buy it here. You don't want to buy it there. You don't want to buy it there. You want to buy it just as it's forming ranges. You know, then you want to buy it just as it's breaking out of that range break. You know, just as it's breaking over the ranges. You know, and again, the times that this rejected breaking out of the daily chart numerous times over this daily chart was a sign of strength, making these higher lows. It was telling you it wants to break out. And the best stocks take time, takes weeks, take months to develop. That's just how it is. So no entry right now is an aerospace theme, but ideally this is going to have more continuation. You just have to watch it, let it do its thing. I mean, no entry right now. It's above all these moving averages. Why would you want to buy it then? Nothing right now. Just sit and wait. That's all you gotta do. On that one, let's see one more. That's what trading's all about. You know, trading's all about waiting. You don't need to try to force something to happen if it's not there. That's how you run to bankruptcy or go bankrupt in the stock market. That's a different type. It's an AI theme. Talk about that in a minute.
I had a crazy idea.
Let's talk about. Let me skip this 1 second. Add here. This one's gonna be kind of long, but it's okay. Again, I do these videos for those who want to learn and grow. I'm not really trying to like. I want you to be here, of course, but if you really want to learn, then you'll watch just all. But again, thank you for watching these. That's the aerospace sector leader is ASTS. RKLB is another similar play as well. Sector leaders, 5-star continuation. Again, as I mentioned, the best ones will always pull back in some sense on these moving averages and have another range break. And that's really what you saw here and there. And right now, it's in limbo mode. You know, the ideal entry was over this range break, even over the daily chart. But right now, there's really no reason to buy this right now. In my mind, I could be wrong, but there's really no reason to buy it right now because it's in above all these moving averages. So no need to. Just be patient with everything. Lunar is another one that I am watching. I did not take a part of this move as well. Well, I did trade it last in December, or at the beginning of this January. I traded it as it broke out of this range break right here. But again, I'm working on swing trading, primarily doing really well. It's taking time to develop, but I mean, it takes time. Trading takes time, you know. But this is the 5-star continuation, aerospace theme. But ideally, let it do its thing. Again, it's above all these moving averages. So I'm not gonna trade it right now, but I think big picture, why can't it break over this daily chart? You know, I'm thinking big picture, it will. Just let it do its thing. Again, stocks take time to develop, so who knows? I mean, it could just go straight over it, like we saw on BE this past week. You know, but I'm looking for something. Let it build a range, let it pull back, base, then have that test over the daily chart, you know. But again, same thing we talk about all the time. You want to kind of expect these areas to fail, you know, as most of them have. You want to expect them to fail, but the more they fail, the more they base, the more conviction I get that this wants to break out. But let it do its thing. And again, it's the volume's there, so we'll see. It's a hot theme play. Another aerospace theme I'm watching. I think that's the only one aerospace I'm watching. Looking at my list here. PL is another aerospace one that I completely mishandled how I traded this. I pretty much nailed this over. I call this a delayed reaction. That's really what you want to call it. Again, look left. And what classifies to me as a delayed reaction is a stock that pretty much has a gap up then goes red, or bases for a couple days, weeks, and months, then rallies over that level. Just how we saw on the first initial run. You know, you had those first 2 days of tightness. Then it went on the rally. And again, the best stocks pull back and base, and that's what you saw here. Basing for months, weeks, whatever. Then you had that another gap up, you know, then the other sideways pullback, then the delayed reaction range break. That led to another potential entry play that led to this current move, which we're on right now. And I did not, well, I did trade it, but I'm not in it right now. I should be. Hopefully you are. Hopefully you're in this, because this is the type of stock that can make you millions if you master it. Okay? I got long pretty much right here, over $18, and I sold like a bitch at 20s, and for some reason I was watching it here. I was watching it in this ranges as it was developing these ranges, and the best stocks you want are to develop ranges. I was watching it as it was developing these ranges, but for some reason I didn't buy it over 21. I don't know what I was doing. It just completely fell off my radar. And the higher this goes, I just like, okay, it's gone. So hopefully you took a part of it, but this is the basic premise of what I do. You know, and it's a basic premise of what I trade and how I trade. It's pretty much that. Okay. That's gonna be the title of the video lesson. My trading style, or trading methodology. And this is what it is. You know, you want to find a stock that makes a big move, pulls back, bases for 10 days, whatever, month, whatever, then has another rally. This is the basic premise, and congrats to those who are in this. If you're not, that's perfectly fine. There's always going to be plays down the road, but you don't want to buy it now. There's no reason to buy it now. It's above all the moving averages. That's just gambling, so don't do that. Okay. Another aerospace theme. I think that's the last aerospace theme. Let's go over some defense plays that have been running lately in light of what's been happening in the overall. It's like drone play. These drone theme plays have been running lately because of the Trump has funded for the military because of what's been happening in Venezuela and all that stuff. I'm not going to go into detail, but like SATL is it's a low float runner, small account edge. I'm watching it because of the fact that number one, it's neglected, and the volume's there, and it has ran in the past. It's in its blood. It has ran in the past, okay? And even back here, you know, look left. This is what I'm talking about. You find a stock, makes a big move, and you wait for it to go sideways. I think many traders, they see a big percent gainer, and they trade it for one day. And that's how I was. You know, I was day trading, and I saw like the stock make a big move on day one, trade it, then like forget about it. Then like a week or a month or a year down the road, you know, I would see it again and be, holy shit, it made a bigger move. I gotta find out why. You know, the best moves often come after the first move. So this one I'm watching. See how it's in a range here? The first setup in a range. So now it's in limbo mode. It's like 50-50. That's really what it's all about. Trading is all about waiting. So I'm watching it. The ADR is it's high, almost 12%. So over 380, it's a potential buy signal. Otherwise, nah. But again, on the channel, look at all these times. It wants to break out, but yet again, it's holding these lows. So it's a backlist play. We'll see what happens in that one. Over 380, who knows? Who knows? This has gone supernova in the past. So we'll see what happens on that one. This another one drone play is RCAT as well is one I'm watching. This has nice as well. Let's see here. Looking at the thing. There's also preliminary early earnings calls on this. Nice ranging off the lows. I just don't like it because how it looks so choppy. But it's on my list, on my backlist. You know, it's a nice balance off the moving average. It's nice linearity right now, so I'm watching it. just to see what happens. Again, the overall resistance level at $15, so it's on my backlist right now. No trade right now. There's nothing setting up. You know, the time to buy this was over the initial range break at 11. Now it's just in limbo mode. So we're gonna see what happens. Let it base, let it pull back, and we'll see how this goes. On that one, let's go over some other ones. I think that's the only one I'm watching. RGC SIDU. I'm sorry, it was an aerospace theme play, which I did trade last week numerous times. I think I mentioned it last week in my video scan. Maybe not, I don't know. But I'm still watching this. I think this is not, I don't think this is done yet. You know, I like how it's basing. As long as it's based over that 330 level, who knows? I'm watching. The sector's hot. I'm over 4. It's a low odds play. But I'm watching it. I just like the chart. I like the way it looks, you know. But we'll see. Could fade. SOPA, no. Beyond Meat, I took a small loss on this past Friday. Somewhat chasing. They had some bullshit news, and I got long pretty much at 106. I don't know why I just overtraded, but it was a small loss. Let's see here. AVA is another one I traded. Good trade, but I was aiming for more. You know, this has gone running in the past, I mentioned, and I pretty much got long over the opening range high break. If I can click this here, over the opening range high break. Again, focused on stocks that I've ran in the past. This has gone supernova in the past, linearity, and they had good earnings. They reported not good earnings. They reported something with NVIDIA, with some AI solutions technology, I believe. And again, we talked about this delayed reaction. I saw the initial gap up in the initial 2 days of sideways, and I was watching for that range break, and that's pretty much what I did. I got long, I think over the $17 level area, and for the most part, I sold quite well. It was a swing trade, and I sold pre-market as it was gapping down. It didn't do what I did. Then that entire day, it freaking rallied and it gapped up. But it is what it is. I thought it was a good trade. The setup was there, and that's one thing I want to tell you. You know, you're going to lose money, but if it's okay to lose money if the setup is valid. It's fine. You know, it's the natural occurrence of the markets. It's only bad if you lose money trading randomly, because that's just dumb. But if I lose money on a setup, it's not a bad trade. It happens, you know. But I'm watching this. You know, let it base, let it build. Who knows? Who says it can't go higher? You know, I don't know. I'm watching it. It's holding the 10-day. Let it build ranges, which it's doing right now. You know, and we'll see. I'm watching over 21 again in the future. That's really what you have to do. Just watch them. You don't have to trade them. Just watch them. And if they break out of their range, then you buy it. Otherwise, you just don't trade it. Let's go over some. Those are the aerospace themes. Let me see here. Some other ones. Let's go over the rest of them, which I'm watching really quick. Okay. BNAI is an AI theme. This is a 5-star setup. I put this on my Twitter account or X, whatever the hell you want to call it. This is the same shit over and over again. Okay, I was watching this. I tweeted right here the day before it broke off the ranges. Watch it. What happened? Broke out of the range. I got long. It was a great trade. A 5-star trade. And with these small cap runners, you know, these shit companies I call them, I don't really swing trade these a lot. It's the exact same setup I'm teaching you, you know, and myself, the same setup I do, but on these larger market cap structured stocks, I can swing trade them because there's a fundamental reason for them to go higher. With these, they can always raise money, and that's always in the back of my mind. So that's why, like, I swing trade some, but I always cut some size down. And BNAI was a 5-star setup. I went huge on this, and it turned out really well. And again, look what happened. Again, the best stocks, again, I traded this twice. The best stocks offer numerous entries, okay? The first initial entry was over this range, over 260. And again, it pulled back and based, and it had another range break, over $4, $4.50. And I got long again. The second one was the biggest trade of my week. You know, it was a great trade, A plus trade. In hindsight, I should still be in this. You know, trail 10 day, which it hasn't closed below the 10 day, but it's still setting up very nicely. Okay, but it's a hot theme play. It's AI. You know, I don't think. I mean, again, I put news in quotation marks with these companies because most of them are just fucking pumps. You know, but you wanna use the momentum as fuel. I call it rocket fuel. You know, that's what you want to do. But it's setting up really nicely right now. So that's why I'm watching it, to have another potential continuation. ADR is extremely high, has ran in the past. So I'm watching, it's been kind of this flag pattern. So over $7. Although we had somewhat of a try in pre-market and it failed. But as long as we hold this level, you know, of $6, who says we can't have another test of that range break? So that's why I'm watching it. And if not, oh well, it fades. It's what it is. But no position right now. I'm watching that one. Let me see some other ones. Give me 1 second. But yeah. That one's that one, being AI. One I am currently long right now is this NVTV, which I traded flawlessly. Again, I rarely day trade, but I got long this. Again, I want to show you something very simple. This is the best day trading pattern in my opinion. Okay, you wait, you want to find a big percent gainer with news, and you wait for the after hour session. It's the same thing on these penny stocks as on large caps. It makes it, but on day trading, it happens in the day. Okay, it makes a big move, pulls back during the day, and has a range break in power hour. I call it the afternoon power hour play. You know, it made a big move, morning spiker, pulls back intraday, then before market close, power hour, the last hour of the day, okay, had a range break over high day. High odds, high risk reward setup. I got long this, and it was a great trade. Great trade. And unfortunately, I did swing trade this, you know, aiming for the gap up, which we did. But I got faked out. But I got long again, because that's how I am. I got faked out. Well, I didn't get faked out. I had a good sell. I sold as I was gapping down. But look how it based and reclaim, you know, and I pretty much got long. Great trade again. I pretty much got long over this high day break at 375. And I pretty much sold the rest to break even, you know. But the reason why I'm watching this right now, because I want to show you something. You know, it's still holding the ranges. Look at this. It's still holding the ranges. Okay, it wants to go higher. You can clearly tell this wants to go higher. Making a high tide flag. It clearly wants to go higher. It's a question of if. It's a question of when. You know, and if I'm wrong, then so what? It fades back down. You know, but this is the basic setup here. This is what I'm trying to show you. And the way I'm trying to show you this is you have to keep a database of stocks. You know, like this reminds me of this particular CYPH. You know, building the ranges. I'm not saying it's gonna do it, but like it reminds me of that setup. And who knows? You know, the news on this. Again, I put news in quotation marks. You know, it's an AI theme. AI is a feature. Okay, whether you like it or not. But good news. So I'm watching it. Again, ADR is extremely high, 31%. So I'm watching it. If you're in it, congrats. If not, watch over 375 or over $4. But I'm currently long right now. I'm not sure how many shares I am long, but I could look. I got long pretty much, kind of chasing, but it is what it is. I don't know. Let me see here if I can do it. If not, then can I do it? Maybe. Well, let me try and look. If it's gonna let me do it, I'm not sure if it is. Oh, yeah. a small size. I'm on 8,000 shares of this thing, but we'll see what happens. If not, if it does break over $40, I'll add even more. But if not, I mean, my stop is 360s, 350s. I mean, after hours, it is up to about 372. So we'll see. Again, look how this is basing so nicely. Okay, so nicely. So we'll see. I could be wrong, but that's what trading is about: is playing the odds and playing setups, and we'll see what happens on that one. But that's that one. Let's go over some other ones. Let me see here. BE, I think I kind of mentioned earlier. Energy. We're talking about some energy stocks real quick. Energy has been as well a hot theme of the past, so I'm watching that one as well. It pretty much broke out of the daily channel, daily ranges here. Again, the best stocks. This chart is very similar to SNDK. Okay, as I mentioned, the best stocks always make secondary moves. Strong stock, pull back for months, then found support on the moving averages. You know it had a nice leg higher, nice rally. And we're over the daily chart right now. But again, just because it's over the daily resistance level does not mean it's done. Ideally higher the better, ideally more continuation. But we talk about being patient, watching the chart, you know, and right now there's no entry on this currently. There's no entry because it's already, again, you don't want to buy it above these moving averages. Don't ever do that. That's just not the way to do it. So let it watch, let it base, let it pull back. You know, you want to buy it like this when it does these ranges, or off the moving average. But now, no, it's just, that's gambling, and that's not what I'm trying to teach you. So now it's just limbo mode, just waiting on that one. But one I am watching in the same sector is EOS. EOS is one I'm watching very closely. Again, last year, strong linear move. It tried to break out here, it did, but it had a weak stuff. But look at this, it's basing really nicely, had a nice range break off the moving averages. Therefore, I'm watching. We're having a nice linear curve right now. Not the curve, we're having a nice rally off the lows. So I'm watching this. And this is a setup here. You know, it's forming it's forming a range right now. It's forming a range, you know, and we'll see what happens. Let it do its thing. Over $18 with conviction, then yeah. But otherwise, just let it do its thing. Energy theme, earnings growth is extremely high on that one. UUU is another energy play I'm watching. Same type of sector play, same type of deal. Nice rally. Same thing with this one. You know, no entry right now, but just watch it. I prefer the other one better. I prefer EOS better. It's just in my mind a lot better. But this is the same type of deal. You know, let it pull back and just do its thing. Let me see here. I know this was kind of long, but it's just there's a lot going on. It's really. I'm trying to see. UAVS is one that failed. NVTS is somewhat a semiconductor theme play, AI as well. I'm watching this one because this has gone in the past, and I'm watching it because it broke out this nice range, you know, and we always talk about that. Look how it's made a strong move off the moving averages, and it's basing really well. Then had a nice range break, somewhat, you know. So I'm watching this for a potential continuation. But if not, then it happens, no big deal. BKKTT is a Bitcoin theme play. Those have been running lately. Like Cypher is one I'm watching as well. HUT is one I'm watching as well. CLSK not really, but I'm watching. I prefer Cypher. It's basing so well. Over $20. I just love it. Same with HUT. HUT's doing this thing, a nice range break. But BKKT is one I'm watching because it has gone in the past, and this is pretty much the premise. You know, I shouldn't even have to say it. You see it right there. So it's what I'm watching. Look how it's basing off these moving averages, and it's surfing really well. I'm watching over 22. We'll see. If not, it is what it is. NVTS, I already talked over that one. But that's really all. Iron as well is one I'm watching. They pivoted to AI. They used to. That's how you know this. I don't know what they are, to be honest. I always say trade the ticker, not the company. Trade the chart, But they pivoted to AI. It looks like they're going to the AI sector now. And before they were crypto, and I think they are crypto still. I'm not sure. But the chart's ideal. I'm watching it. Nice basing off these moving averages here. A nice linear rally right now. So let it do its thing. I'm watching it. No entry right now though. But that's really all. I don't want to bore you. I know this is long, so that's really it. But yeah, the main ones to watch for next week are EVTV. EVTV, I'm long. Watch that one. ASTS, ideally more continuation. Silver, watch for that trend change. Moving average, backside move. BNAI, watch as well. Backlist play. But yeah, that's really all. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this, and CRML is one to watch as well. Backlist play over the ranges, but as well. But yeah, SNDK as well. I kind of been talking about that. This is kind of one of those you have to watch. 12-10 day. It's gonna be a grinder stock, so just focus on that and just let it do its thing. Okay. That's really all, and thank you for watching all these. I'm not gonna be here next week. I'm going on vacation. I'll be in Mexico, so I'm gonna be gone for probably a week. I'll be going back next week. I don't know. It's always good in life to take a break from things. Okay, don't try to force. I know I started this video talking about being obsessed, but sometimes in life the great thing is balance. And I'm going on a cruise, so I'm not sure when I'll be back. But yeah, just focus on setups, focus on your playbook trades, and the rest will come naturally. Okay. But yeah, see you next time.